In the busy city of Kadesh, there lived a young woman named Miriam. She was known for her strength, her confidence, and her ability to solve problems quickly. But lately, life had become overwhelming. Her business was failing, her friendships were breaking, and her prayers felt unanswered. She felt lost, surrounded by noise but empty inside. One evening, after crying silently in her room, Miriam decided to go to the small old chapel near the edge of town. It was quiet, peaceful, and always filled with the smell of burning candles. She knelt before the altar, but for the first time in her life, she did not speak. No words, no requests, no explanations, just silence. At first, the silence felt heavy, almost painful. Her thoughts rushed like storms, her heart raced, and she wondered if God was even listening. But slowly, as she remained still, something changed. The noise inside her began to settle. Her breathing softened. Her tears stopped falling. In that silence, she felt something she had not felt in months: the calmness of God's presence. No voice spoke out loud. No miracle happened instantly. But in her heart, she heard a soft whisper, "Be still, and know that I am God." She stayed there for hours, saying nothing, only listening. And in that divine silence, God began to work. When she left the chapel, her problems were still real, but she was no longer afraid. Peace wrapped around her like a warm blanket. For the first time, she knew she was not alone. Over the next few weeks, she gained clarity and restarted her business with new wisdom. Broken relationships were rebuilt. Doors she thought were permanently closed began to open. Joy returned to her life. Not because she shouted her prayers, not because she argued with God, but because she waited quietly in His presence. One day, a friend asked, "Miriam, what changed? What is your secret?" She smiled gently and answered, "I learned to stop speaking and start listening. I found that silence in the presence of God gives strength, peace, and direction that loud prayers never could." And from that day on, she taught others, silence is not weakness, it is spiritual power. Silence heals what words cannot touch. Silence opens the heart to hear God clearly. For in silence, God reveals what noise tries to hide. Moral of the story: sometimes the greatest breakthroughs come not from speaking, but from being still before God. When we stop talking, God starts guiding. When we surrender in silence, His peace fills our soul.